This is the final segment of the platform this evening, and we are speaking with two young men and their fathers, and they are budding entrepreneurs in our country. And at the break, I asked you about personal ambition, personal pride, taking personal responsibility for who you are and where you are. Are there young men in abundance who have personal pride, who have pride in themselves, self-respect? You want to be somebody.
Yes, sir.
You want to be somebody, Mr. Fox and Mr. Roker. Perhaps I should say Master Fox and Master Roker. And your parents, well, they are masses, Mr. Fox and Mr. Roker, so I'll call you Master Roker and Master Fox. You really want to be somebody, right?
Of course, sir.
And so you have some personal pride, right?
Yes, sir.
Where you got it from?
My father, definitely. I think the pride, from my mom and my father, not to discredit my mom, but
don't big him up because he's here now.
No, but now that this really is the first time somebody asked me that question, and I think from my father raising me, with pride and ambition, I think my dad, he has ambition overflowing with the ceiling, and he's always encouraged me to try new things, and never be afraid to try something new, and with a lot of young adults out there, their parents, may not bestow that upon them. So, being, a young person, and Goshon being a young person, I think we can teach them, to have pride and have ambition, and don't be afraid to try new things.
Mm-hmm. That's excellent. Well put. Well put. And you are obviously, Goshon, bubbling over with ambition, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yes? And you want to try new things?
Yes, all the time.
Mm-hmm. Tell us, you have peers, young boys in your age groups who've gotten into trouble, right?
Yes, of course.
Landed in the hands of the law and before the courts, right?
Yes.
What do you say to them when you see them?
Well, I always try to resolve the problem before I get to that stage. I always tell them, say, is it really worth doing to throw away your whole future, to throw away your whole career? Like, always, the Bible says, seek peace and pursue it. So you would want to seek peace instead of looking for a fight. Always try to seek peace because you will be blessed in the end.
Mm-hmm. You have friends who went to jail?
Yes, sir. And, unfortunately, I had to... Unfortunately, I just see in a newspaper when I pick up the front page, there's my friend going to jail now, and it was kind of a wake-up call for me. They're 17, they're 16, they've committed murder already, and they won't see the day of light probably for the rest of their lives. So when I used to sit back and realize and reminisce, these are people I actually went to school with, who I touch elbows with, and look at the things they're doing now. So I said to myself, well, if I could have talked to them, and talked them out of that, making a stupid decision that they probably didn't think, that would affect the rest of their lives, and now they're living, basically in eternal hell, in prison now, and they won't get to, enjoy the things of life like traveling and doing different things. But I, learned from a newspaper, hearing on the radio what they've got themselves involved in, and basically, I've took, kind of distance myself away from that, for security reasons for myself. But it just was a shock to me because my dad, he'd always say, watch the company. And I guess growing up, me seeing these people I know in prison now.
Let me throw this out to you. This is a little thesis that we have developed here over the last few years, and it is this: you are as you are because you were well parented.
Yes.
That you were not abused.
No.
That you are not a victim. But the young men who you refer to, who you see going to prison, they were abused, and they are victims of bad parenting, victims of dysfunctional homes, victims of miseducation, a bad system of education, victims of societal neglect. That society is really neglected in shaping and forming these young men. That you both have been well read and well shaped, and you have not been abused, so you are not victims. I put it to you that your friends who have gone to jail, even though they victimized people and shot at people and robbed people, that they themselves are victims.
Yes, sir.
You agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Victims of bad parenting.
Yes, sir.
You became the Neil Roker that you are because you are the strong father.
Yes, sir.
Who you say is overly ambitious. You say he has ambition coming out of the roof.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And he's instilled in you some things.
Of course, he's instilled a lot inside of me, basically, to be great as well. And it's a good morals that my dad have, that he is, did his best to try and put on to me and my mother as well.
And similarly for Fox.
Yeah.
You have a father who is community-minded, who has been working with young boys, and you've seen a fantastic role model.
Yeah. Well, my father always told me that, well, a couple of years before I started the whole business thing, I wanted to be a carpenter. He bought me all my tools. I noticed about my father that he always would push me in the direction what I wanted to do. He never told me that he wanted me to be something. He said, whatever you want to be, I'd push you in your direction, and I'm here for you 100%.
You still want to be a carpenter?
Used to.
Used to.
Used to.
You want to build a skyscraper, you said. Very good. You're above that. Well. So we need to reach out to victimized young men.
Of course, and
abused young men.
And Mr.
And redirect them, eh?
Of course, Mr. Jones. And I just don't want to focus on, kids who are already doing good things. I want to, people who don't have any direction to gravitate to me towards me, and to Goshon as well, and Mr. Fox and my father, to get them on the right track and show them, the potential they have to where they can succeed in life as well.
Excellent. Peter Roker.
Well, no, the two ends to a rope. They're speaking about the beginning of the rope. I'm speaking about the end of the rope. And what I'm proposing is this. Our system that we live in should have a straight road for those persons that get through all those things we're talking about, all those problems. In other words, a child shouldn't go through the problems of growing up and all of the frustrations and the trials and tribulations, then find out that they in their own country are marginalized or disenfranchised. And that is the other end of the rope. And that needs to be addressed. Because there are many people out there and say, you know what, this system is no good. Even if I go out there and be good, it's very unlikely that I'm going to, and I can agree with them. And that is the perspective in which I am coming from.
Yeah, but isn't that a cop-out?
No, it's not a cop-out. No, it's not. No, it is not. Listen to me very carefully. Hold a minute. When I would raise her with him, okay, and tell him, you're going to do it. You understand me? I knew that I would stand in front of him and take the bullets. I was taking the bullet. Yeah. But listen to me carefully. We are disenfranchised in this country, and it needs to stop.
Yeah, but that is a complaint that we hear from time to time, and we put the blame on the system or the state.
Not those systems.
Hold on the state, on government. All right? But here we have people who are taking personal responsibility.
Of course. And I've encouraged that.
Yes.
And I've encouraged that. I'm a believer. I am a believer I will never stop believing.
That's right. You've done a whole lot of stuff.
I will never stop believing. But what I'm saying is this. The road there is being blocked. And the blocks must be removed. The people that have blocked the road these years, history will not treat them very kindly.
Yeah, but you said earlier on
I said.
that when you have trouble or you have difficulties, that is the greatest inspiration
Exactly.
to an entrepreneur.
Exactly. Now,
And you have overcome all
yes,
of these
but you see what I'm
difficulties.
wearing? I'm wearing the jeans. I'm wearing the boots.
Yes.
Okay?
You're a hard-working man.
Well, let me say this to you, okay? Let's remove these bloody blocks out of the way, okay? I want to see all Bahamians do well. It does not...
How are these blocks expressed? What are they?
If you just go in an old passport or maybe in a new passport without let or hindrance, Her Majesty asked the courtesy of whoever is in whatever to allow this person to go through without let or hindrance.
Yeah, but
Now, the other night I was listening to a show, I think on peace, and when a talented person like KB, and I don't know him and he don't know me, I don't know him personally, I really admire his, God knows what talent he has. And when he can sit on national radio, or a radio, maybe not national radio, but it's a radio in our country, okay, FM radio, and severely criticize our system. When I can hear Blind Blake on the radio and be out of my mind with nostalgia as to how beautiful it used to be with all the Bahamian talent around and not be able to even go to this talent. Listen, my friend, I look in the mirror every day. We are in deep trouble, and it's not because of recession. It is not because of a young person, oh, we want to do this. Listen, Neil, Goshon, and Eric, and myself will put our shoulders against his wheel, and we will push, but for God's sakes, whatever is holy, move those blocks out the way. Move them out of the way.
that's the last word. Thank you so very much. And we wish you, gentlemen, well in your endeavors.
Thank you.
As you seek to build these enterprises that you're about. We hope that you do well.
Thank you.
And we thank you fathers for coming here today. All right? You sure you wear that thing?
Of course I wear it.
You wear that?
If I what?
You wear that?
Of course. Well, I mean, when I'm in the rain, of course. Don't you use an umbrella or what?
Okay. I hear you. Thank you so very much for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fox.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Master Fox and Master Roker, for being here today. And as I said, you go out and conquer the world.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for watching and listening to our program. Good evening, everyone.